Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from the Tudor Tracker. Now I have a book review for you today. There's so many books to review and I can never pick. What I've done today is I've gone for something that has been out for a while, because I think sometimes when a new release comes out, it gets lots of reviews, and that's fantastic. That's exactly what it needs. Sometimes it's nice to bring out something that's been around for a little bit longer to reignite people's interest in that particular thing. So today's being guarded, as always, by Thomas Howard, 3rd Duke of Norfolk, affectionately known as Simon, is On This Day in Tudor History by the lovely Claire Ridgway. So a lot of you probably know Claire because she is probably the most prolific biographer we have of the Boleyns. And she runs the Anne Boleyn Files, and she runs the Tudor Society, which is how I know her, because I work for her there, and she just knows everything. So this book is something that she's actually popped up on her YouTube channel as well. So you can search on YouTube the Anne Boleyn Files and Tudor Society, either one or both of them together, and it will bring that up for you. There's so many videos on there. It is an absolute treasure trove of information. You could just watch it for hours. So what she's done with that is she's taken each day in the year for 2 years, and she's doing some new ones now as well, which are a little bit different, I think, an event that's happened on that particular date. And you've probably seen people do these on lots of the history Facebook pages and things like that. On this day in every year, something happened. So what Claire's done is basically taken every single day of the year and charts all the events that happened on those years in Tudor history. Some a wee bit after, into the early parts of the Stuart period, and some a little bit in the latter part of the Wars of the Roses, because it all links together. Okay, so if you've got a lot of time, then you can just sit down and read lots of book all in one go. Or if you just have a little bit of time, you can just read snippets here and there. It lends itself to that type of thing very well for fitting into tiny bits of time. So maybe like when you're having your breakfast, or you're waiting for the kettle to boil to make yourself a cup of coffee in the morning or something, you could just peruse what's happened on this day in Tudor history. You get, if you watch the videos, obviously there's a lot more details. This is quite a nice companion to run the two side by side. But I know we all have a book, don't we? We all have a nice book. So what I'm going to do is read you the blurb on the back. Okay, so it says, on this day in Tudor history, gives a day-by-day look at the events from the Tudor era, including births, deaths, spoiler alert, lots of those, baptisms, marriages, battles, arrests, executions, and more. This must-have book for Tudor history lovers is perfect for dipping into daily over your morning coffee, using in the classroom, trivia nights and quizzes, finding out what happened on your birthday or special day, wowing friends and family with your knowledge from the Tudor period, researching the Tudor period. Written by best-selling Tudor author Claire Ridgway, On This Day in Tudor History contains a wealth of information about your favourite Tudor monarchs, their subjects, and the times they lived in. Did you know? On the 17th of January 1569, Agnes Boker gave birth to a cat. If you want to know about that, you can have to read the book. Or it's probably on the YouTube channel, but you should read the book. So, yeah, and you can see it's quite a volume. Now, what I've done today is I've actually marked a page, because today, I'm recording this, and hopefully it will go out tonight as well, is the 21st of February. And it just so happened, randomly, when I looked in this, that most days have like a sort of, if something big has happened on that day, that'll be like the main event, if you like, and then there'll be other little bits. So the main event for today, 21st of January, is about your son. The 21st of January. On the night of the 21st of January 1543, there was trouble in London. A group of half a dozen young men, including ringleader Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey, went on a 5-hour rampage, smashing windows, shooting prostitutes using stone bows, and shouting obscenities. The trouble lasted until 2 a.m. The next day, a rather repentant Surrey commented to his friend George Blage that he was sorry for his actions and wished it were undone, but that we will have a madding time in our youth. I blame the parents. Also on this day, 1510, Henry VIII opened the first parliament of his reign. 1542, Bill of Attainder passed against Catherine Howard. 1556, death of Eustace Chapuis, Imperial Ambassador at the English Court. 1571, death of Walter Haddon, civil lawyer, reformer, MP and college head in London. And 1608, death of Richard Lowther, soldier and landover at Lowther Hall. Some of those last ones that I read are expanded on with a little bit more information. But so you kind of get the idea of the book just from that. So I'll put a link to purchase the book, I don't know where that came from, in the description below, but it really is, it's so useful because, as I said, it gives you a real sort of sense of time and scope. It'll remind you of events that you want to look into more. If there's something that you're interested in, it always gives you a real basis to take that essential information and research it from there. And obviously the last couple of people I mentioned, there are people that really you probably wouldn't come across, and it could introduce you to somebody that you've never heard before. You decide to research, and you can get all sorts of down some really interesting rabbit holes. But it's really that essential information on pretty much everything that happened in the period. So you can't really go wrong with that, can you? So yeah, so this is a great gift. I would say really good for any period, any level of Tudor history lover, because if you're being introduced to Tudor history, you want everything, don't you? Want to devour everything, but it's bite-sized chunks and it's explained really well. And obviously if you are much further into your study of the Tudor period, it's going to bring in those characters or people that were a little bit sort of smaller in the picture, but you might recognize the things that they went to do. Oh, I wonder who did that. Oh, I've forgotten about that, etc, etc, etc. And Claire's work is really comfortable. It's really easy to read. So absolutely, this is a great one to have. So I hope that's been helpful and useful. Do go down and check that out if you would like to. You can follow Claire at various different places, which I'll pop underneath here as well, underneath the video for you to have a look at. So that's that. I will be back with another book review soon. And again, I will go through the dilemma of which one to pick. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching and take care and bye-bye.